We are Beer and Chill Podcast.
Podcast where we review TV shows, games, movies, and whatever else takes our fancy.
So what are you waiting for? If you're a cool kid like us, you're gonna listen to the Beer and Chill Podcast. You can get it anywhere from Spotify all the way to your grandmother's radio. My name is Jan.
And I'm Craigie C.
And we are
Beer and Chill.
What's your favorite scary movie?
They mostly come at night. Mostly.
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
Your suffering will be legendary, even in hell.
They're here.
Welcome, victims, to the Horr-Gasm podcast. I'm Nick, and with me is my co-host, Ellie.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
We're doing stuff and things. Recording.
Things and stuff.
Oh, and Anarchy is really excited.
Oh, she's doing all the works and the roughs.
So excited to listen to us.
Yes.
Yes, well, because we have an exciting episode today.
We do.
We
We're
do.
back on the horror train.
Yes. And we watched a kind of spooky, scary,
We watched
psychological movie.
We watched a movie.
We watched a movie with some well-known actors.
Yes, I think
All
that's
good.
again one of the better parts of it was
Right,
the acting.
the acting.
The
10 out of 10.
the visuals was great. The plot was iffy.
You mean you don't want a plot about looking into light and masturbating? That feels weird. That sounds like heaven.
No.
No.
I'll get into more of it
Oh,
after.
I just got a notification from my dog camera that my dogs are barking because of my laugh. That kind of hurted my feelings.
Oh.
I know.
But what I was going to talk about this week for Talking Chop was Antlers.
Oh yeah,
I finally
yeah.
watched Antlers. It was okay. I thought
Yes.
it'd be better. Kay Russell does a great job in it,
Yeah.
but it's, I don't know. I was expecting something different.
Really?
I was.
Okay, so what's the plot again? Because we've talked about it a lot, but it's been a minute. It's been like wanting to come out for 2 years now.
Plot is basically the old folklore of a Wendigo, where it's an old spirit of Indian folklore that comes up and basically is like the planet's or nature's assassin, like
Sure.
for hire. It does the cleanup work for
Right.
which really has nothing to do with the movie at all. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's not terrible,
Right, for sure.
but it's definitely missing a few. I thought it'd be different. I don't want to say anything bad about it because it's
Sure.
not the worst movie ever. That's what we watched this week. But
Oh my God. When we started this, you're like, oh, I didn't really like it. I didn't know it was like terrible.
I try. You know,
Jesus.
Again, I'll get into it more as we talk about the movie.
Oh my God. And that's interesting because I really liked it. But I mean, we'll get into it.
Oh,
it's
we will.
fine.
We will.
Yeah.
But no, it basically adventures about this creature, the Wendigo,
Yeah.
killing some people, and
Sure.
all revolve around this boy
Interesting.
who's very on his own. He's got some bad stuff happening to his family. It's a little heartbreaking. It makes sense as you watch the rest of it.
Okay. Because I've watched a few things about the Wendigo, and I think it's like such an interesting character.
It really is. But I don't know.
Yeah,
It's-
and like there's the supernatural episode about it was probably one of my favorite renditions. It was terrifying.
It's a really great folklore monster.
Yes,
It really
yes.
is. I love the design, love the look of it. It's got Native American roots to it.
Yes.
And they firmly believe that's real.
Yep.
Those who believe they believe
Right.
it's real.
Exactly.
It's kind of similar to the Chupacabra almost.
Yes, you're right. Yep.
But it designs in the movie great.
Interesting.
The effects great. It just I felt the plot fell a bit flat. Could have been something a little more to it.
You know what else that happened with that movie we watched about Bigfoot or whatever?
Yes.
Right? Where it's like, JK, it's hillbillies. JK, it's not hillbillies.
JK, it's hillbillies, and then some. And and I was actually looking up on Amazon. There's a bunch of Bigfoot movies on Amazon.
Yeah.
All of them not good.
Yeah, I agree.
And like we need a good, scary Bigfoot movie.
Because it could totally, Harry and the Hendersons is pretty scary.
That scared me at first. It was
That design?
It was along the lines of A.T., but it wasn't
I feel that.
I get over that one a lot easier than
More
E.T.
elf, like elfish.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was a family movie. It was kind of.
Of
It started
course.
off, they had with the jump. It's on the roof. It peeked its head over the windshield.
Yep.
But like E.T., he's got the little jump scares to show him off. Then they kind of go into the more. As I remember watching it when he's going through the house.
Yes.
Lifting his hand over like the different spaces, doors into rooms.
Yep.
Because he was too tall. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, this guy's not evil. He's not scary. He's just a big, hairy, tall man.
Yep.
And it's a great movie. I love Harry and the Hendersons. I really do.
Yes. Me too. I was just
No.
thinking on that LOL.
No, it's okay. Like it. No, like Bigfoot could be done
Yes.
very well
Well,
with the
yeah.
right story. And I know there's a couple that I haven't seen. Mm-hmm. But
It's just inherently scary, and I think that comes with the that fear of the unknown, right?
Yeah.
We've seen him in passing, but we don't actually know if there's one or where he is. But he's big and scary,
yes. And one of the
that's scary.
bigger rumors is that there is some hunter who shot one, stuffed it in his freezer, and is waiting for the right time and place.
Sure.
Like, come on, it was when he first shot it.
Come on.
on.
Which fine, if that's your bag, then great.
That's right.
Yeah, I'll wait forever as long as it's within my lifetime. I'm cool.
Yeah.
But
no, I think we'll eventually we'll watch Antler's review of it.
Totally.
And it wasn't. I was all this hype for it. That'd be great.
Yep.
I almost overhyped it, and
Of
that kind of
course.
ruined it for me a bit.
Yes.
But like for some reason from the trailer, I remembered a very distinct scene that apparently never happened.
Yep.
Of the Wendigo, chasing the boy.
Yep.
It never happened.
Sure.
It was just from the trailer that I put it together in my head. Because I was looking for, where's that gonna happen? It's not happening yet. But it's a really, it's not a bad movie. I liked it.
Sure.
I think it could have been better. Mm-hmm. But
As is life, right?
as is life, yeah.
Well, I watched a couple this week too. I watched Spiral, the new Saw movie with Chris Rock. And I watched the new Paranormal Activity movie. I forget what it's called.
Next of Kin.
Yes, Next of Kin.
And I
you're right.
want to see that.
So I watched Spiral first, and it was good.
Ooh.
Yeah. I kind of wished that they went more graphic with it because that's what you come to expect with Saw.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, they needed to do that for an R rating, right? As
Yes.
I read that, so there's one trap where a guy is laying in, a bath of water, and his fingers are connected with wire to, a motor. So it's pulling his fingers forward. And if he doesn't let his fingers get ripped apart, then there's exposed wires that'll electrocute and kill him. And they said that there was, because you kind of sort of see a little bit of it, but not a lot. And it's basically his fingers moving forward. And the director said that he had every inch of skin being ripped off, every bone popping out of its socket, nails coming off. And they said that they cut almost all of it, because it was so graphic. And that's the scene that he's the most upset about.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
I really do, because, the Saw franchise, besides the first one, was known for over-the-top gore.
Absolutely.
It was gore porn.
Yeah.
There's torture porn.
Torture porn, yep.
I was not the fan of that because I like more of a scare, not,
Yeah.
oh, by the way, this guy's getting his arms,
Right.
bent backwards and shoved up his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I appreciate the genre that they exist in.
Yeah.
Not my favorite either. But I wanted to watch this because I really, really like Chris Rock. I think he's really cool. His dad's played by Samuel L. Jackson.
Chris Rock's in it?
He's the main character.
I thought, oh, yes, okay, I'm thinking someone else.
Yeah,
You're saying
yeah.
Chris Rock,
Yeah.
I'm thinking someone else entirely different.
Chris Rock is the main character. He plays a detective. His dad is played by Samuel L. Jackson.
Nice.
I know. And the only thing that bugged me is it is really predictable.
Oh, of course.
Like, they basically telegraph who the guy is. Or girl.
Ooh. Well,
They telegraph who the bad people are right off the hop. And I don't think they do it on purpose, but I think I've just seen enough Saws and I've seen enough horror movies where I know.
yeah.
Like, you know. Immediately. I don't
And they
know.
think they try to psych out the audience.
For sure.
Like, is it this kind of person? No, it's not. But really, it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Is this person dead? Are they alive? We
Yeah.
don't know. Because the bodies are always so mutilated. It's like, who's who? Who's actually dying?
I remember, I forget who was talking about this. I forget completely. But they're saying how with the Saw movies, they're all with, one, I think, when it was a woman who was doing it all.
Yeah.
He set them up so that people can escape. There was a way
Right.
out.
Always.
But you have to sacrifice.
Yeah. You have to lose something.
You have to lose something to, sacrifice something to live.
And that's what this one
And now
is
it's-
too.
Yes. But the one with the girl who was doing the killings, she took that away.
Yep.
And that's why she got killed herself.
And it's not as good that way almost.
No.
But in this one, like, they say that there's a way out, but like, I think that you see 4 torture devices. And I think 2 of the 4, they try to sacrifice their part.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's that, like, fake sort of, you have a choice when you don't have a choice.
Oh. that's
Yeah. Interesting. But, like, the actual scenes were really good. Like,
good.
the first one was a tongue. The second one was the fingers. The third one was my favorite. So, excuse me. So, the person is laying there, and they have, like, a mesh cloth over their face. And there's a knife, like a sawing sort of knife underneath their neck. And there's hot wax dripping onto their face. Ooh. And they have to sever their spinal cord so they can never walk again, or they'll be basically waterboarded with hot wax.
What?
Right?
That's not much of a choice.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
I don't like that at all.
And then, so they don't make the right decision, or they don't do it fast enough. And then the main character finds them and takes the wax off their face, and like their skin is like gummy and ripping off with it.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
it was so good though. I was like, that's what I'm looking for.
I know, I like
Rip the skin off.
like that and like Hostel.
Yes.
Also in the
yes.
same, but Hostel is a lot more.
Hostel was literal porn in the first half.
Pretty much.
And then torture porn.
Yes. Yes.
Those are movies I actually didn't like because they were just for shock. Like, there was no good story.
And that's why I didn't like most of the Saws, because they sacrificed the story, which
Yeah.
was the first one,
Yeah.
for the visual traps
Right.
and effects. And everyone's like, "Oh, I like that more than the plot."
Right.
Oh yeah, we got Jigsaw. But what kind of traps you can make up next? And
I liked the first one. I
I
thought the
did
first
too.
one was
I
interesting.
liked the first one. I didn't mind the second.
When he gets up, like Jigsaw, and turns around, I remember audibly gasping. I was like, there's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way. So good. Yeah, so anyways, totally check out Spiral. It is worth it.
There we go.
It's like, I would watch it again. I'm probably going to watch it with my partner
Nice.
this weekend because I want to watch it again and he wants to watch it. So, yay.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
And like I said, I also watch Paranormal Activity. Next of Kin. I would not rewatch it.
Oh.
It was-
Well, does that have any connection to the?
they have none of the recurring characters.
Oh.
Yeah, none. 0 recurring characters.
But
the demon is the same, but you don't see them. Of course, it's just possessing people.
And is it the same like coven? On a woman?
No, it's like, so what happens is just this girl is sought out by a cousin, she said, who lives on an Amish farm. And so they've never been able to get in contact because, there's no phones or anything. So he seeks her out and he's like, hey, you should come and meet your family, because her mom abandoned her. And so she's like, okay. So she goes there with a couple of her friends, and they say that they're going to make a documentary on her life and just ask about her mom and stuff. So basically, 3/4 of the movie is them researching an Amish farm. Oh. And there's like very like, ooh, there's a church with weird symbols on it, and that's it. And then the last 15 minutes is my favorite, shaky cam, and them running through tunnels. And that's it. I was so disappointed.
To make that one, I think there's going to make one more to go back to the story, which I'm excited for. Like, we talked about this. We did it.
But, like, there's no Katie. There's no mention of anything that happened in the previous Paranormal Activities. Like, nothing.
And you know what? They don't need to always go back to that.
I know, but just, like, a small homage, something.
Nod. Like, just,
like, why is this happening? Why is, like, what's connected?
I would have, again, I haven't seen it yet. I think I will. I'll watch it just because. But if I was going to do a movie like that, I would have, like, okay, let's have one of the other, like, say, the great-great-grandmother of Katie.
Yeah.
Let's have her be, like, say she was part of that.
Right.
And she left the Amish community.
Yes.
And she brought with her.
Like, just something small. Even, like, oh, she has a cousin named Katie. Like, just something small to throw it in there just to connect the stories. Yeah. Because that's what I like about the Paranormal Activities, is that they connect everything.
They did.
Yeah. Even if it's just a small mention, or Katie shows up and she's like, sup, bitches? Just, like, for 2 seconds. Yeah. That's all I need.
Like, when I was trying to explain about the movies to the audience a couple of episodes ago, I got the movies all backwards fucked up.
Of course.
But after watching them all after, I'm like, I sure fucked that up. I was wrong.
That's okay.
But
it happens.
Whatever.
Yeah, so totally give it a watch too. Maybe I'm crazy. It didn't do anything for me, but might do something for somebody else.
Maybe.
And that's okay. That's just like the movie we watched this week. Did something for me, did nothing for you.
It did something to me, but didn't do anything that good.
Did it make you want to fart? No. Oh, fart!
No, thankfully no. No. I forgot about that part.
So much.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we watched The Lighthouse this week. And I like it. It was my suggestion, and, it happens.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine completely.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Different people have different opinions, so that's
right.
That's what we love about this podcast.
And you know what? Quickly, before we go into the talking about it, I'd like to throw a bit of a heads up that we are streaming.
Yes!
Yes, we are finally streaming, so please. Our schedule is kind of erratic, but
we're getting there. Yeah.
I'm trying to stream on Saturdays and or Sundays.
Yep.
As well as during the week.
Yep.
I don't have the exact days down.
Totally.
I kind of throw them up, whatever.
It's erratic, but that's...
But please, if you're bored, just come support us. Just come and give us a follow.
Pop a follow.
Hop on, watch for a bit.
You'll see us when we're there, yeah.
Hop on for a bit, say hello.
I mostly just make stupid comments the whole time and laugh at myself. And then Nick looks over and laughs sometimes. It's great.
Yes. Yes, so please check us out. And we're in the end, but we are on Twitch under Horr-Gasm Games.
All one word.
Check us out.
Beautiful. And I'll shout it out again at the end of the episode.
Of course.
If you forget. But let's get into The Lighthouse.
Okay.
Sick of your laughing, snoring, and your goddamn farts. Your goddamn farts. You smell like piss. You smell like jism. Like rotten dick. Like curdled foreskin. Like hot onions fucked a farmyard shithouse. And I'm sick of your smell. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it, you goddamn drunk, you goddamn no account, son of a bitch, bastard liar. That's what you are. You're a goddamn drunken, horse-shitting, short, shit liar. A liar.
All right, so this week we watched The Lighthouse. It's a 2019 movie. It was directed and written by Robert Eggers. Eggers, that's a good name.
Yep.
I like that. Yeah.
I like how they're the ones who did The Witch.
Yes.
I think
yep. It's A24.
And this is totally backwards because I like The Witch.
I hated The Witch.
And you hated The Witch.
Yeah.
We watched
I thought
Lighthouse.
It was trash.
You love The Lighthouse.
Yeah.
I'm like,
See, and this is like I like basically every movie I watch. It has to be like a truly not great movie for me to be like, because I just like to be entertained.
same here.
Honestly.
Yeah.
So, like this one, what entertained me wasn't the horror aspects or any of that. It was the artistic aspects of this movie.
Yes.
The artistic aspects of this movie, the acting, the lighting, the black and white,
Yep.
the, like, instead of widescreen, it was like full screen, like with black bars on the edges. So cool. So
And you know
cool.
what? For that, I can't fault it at all.
Right? Yes. It's very, and I'm not saying like to be pretentious, like it's too deep for you to understand. That's not what I'm saying. It's very specific to that kind of stuff. Like it's the same reason why I like Hereditary and Midsummer, which is made by the same studio.
Yeah.
The lighting, the directions of the camera angles, the thought that went into it, fantastic. Can I relate to a story about two older men masturbating, farting, and, you know, jacking off to mermaids and killing each other? No.
Nope.
No, I cannot. But I can appreciate the thought behind it and the slow descent to madness.
Yep.
And all of that. I think that is really interesting. And it makes it a good thriller to me. I don't know.
That's
and it's
fair.
different. I crave something different.
Cool.
You know?
That's cool. No, I do get that. No,
Yeah.
I that's why I like that as well. When movies take a chance to do things a little different, I enjoy that.
Doesn't 100% pay off, and I will be the first to admit that. But it's just, it works for me.
Yep. No, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, where did you first hear about this?
Oh, I saw trailers for it, and I was like, I need to see this movie.
Okay, because I don't remember this at all. I remember.
Really?
I think I remember seeing you talk about once. I'm like, okay, whatever.
I'm a Robert Pattinson.
And it
like,
never
love.
pass. Although let's see what he can do in Batman. But no, I didn't hear about it. I know I knew kind of it, but not lots. And he said, we're gonna watch this week.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, Lighthouse. What's that about? So I went a little snooping. We're gonna watch Amazon.
Yep.
Okay, this looks interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see where it goes. And it went somewhere.
It went somewhere. Still not sure where.
Nope.
It didn't really go very far.
Nope.
We stayed in the same spot the whole time.
Yes.
yeah, I agree. I just saw a trailer and I'm like, man, that looks cool. Give me anything black and white and I'm in, you know?
Yes and no. For me, yes and no. I have nothing wrong with a good black and white film, but it has to make sense. It has to have a reason for black and white. This had a reason. But other movies...
It was like the 1800s.
Yes. like Sin City. It had a reason it was black and white.
Absolutely. Oh, I love that movie so much.
Yeah.
Oh.
But which one? The Wolverine.
Okay.
They had a version of that in black and white. I'm like, I don't think that needed it.
Yeah.
But whatever. They want to make it black and white because it's such a brutal movie and so violent, which is fine.
Yeah.
I like me some Wolverine.
Absolutely.
Yum yum. But
dang.
it was a great movie. But I did watch it in black and white, and I'm okay with that.
There you go.
I don't think black and white was the right direction for it.
For sure. It's like with anything, you know, sometimes people do it and it's over the top and it doesn't add anything.
That's right.
You know, this one, I think they probably did it to get away with the blood and the gore and the like juiciness. We see a lot of jizz in this movie.
There's
like a lot.
There's stuff.
There is more than I expected there to be. And I've seen it before.
I was surprised there was some to begin with. I was like, oh, this is happening. Okay.
Right. Yeah. It's
and
something.
Going through some of the trivia and all that. I don't know if it was a director or someone, because there was full on male nudity. There were erect penises, and someone wanted them all out.
Yep.
They want to remove all the male nudity. I'm like, okay, well, I don't care. That's fine. But I understand why.
Totally.
It would have made it then more of like a snuff piece.
Right.
And I don't think that's what they're going for.
Mm-hmm. I think it just wanted it to be, like, the word that I would use to describe this movie is gritty. Yes. And I think it would have, like, do we need all the nudity? Probably not. Same way I feel about female nudity,
exactly.
you know? We don't always need all of it. But I think the amount that we get in this is perfect. Like, it's just enough.
Yep.
You know? Don't need anything more. But, yeah. Woo!
Yeah, whatever.
Well, should we get into the cast?
Yes,
the very long cast list. What is there? Robert Pattinson, William Dafoe, and a seagull?
There's 4. There's
That's
4
close.
people. 4 and a seagull's 5. So this movie stars Robert Pattinson as Ephraim Winslow / Thomas Howard.
Yes.
It stars William Dafoe as Thomas Wake.
Mm-hmm.
Valerie...
Oh, right.
Valerie Karaman.
Yep.
That's a funny name.
He's the mermaid.
As the mermaid.
Under the sea.
And Logan Hawkes as the real Ephraim Winslow.
Right.
In a scene I must have missed.
Yeah. Flashbacky.
Yes.
Yeah. We had a heckin' flashback.
Yeah.
Woo! All the cast.
All the cast. It's a very small cast.
Yeah.
And I get it. I understand why.
Yep. It works for what it is.
It works on the whole seclusion.
Exactly.
It's very claustrophobic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man, is it ever, hey?
It is. It really is.
And like when you're watching this, you're like, oh, those guys are pussies. I could fucking do that. Even telling Nick, I was like, I think I could last like a week. Especially in like the 1800s. Like, what do you do?
Yeah.
And basically, William Dafoe, like Wake, works Winslow to the bone. So he doesn't even hardly have any downtime. And it's just like, what do you do? Like, ugh.
Nothing.
Not happy.
No. You drink.
Yes. And that's
drink.
what... we should try some gasoline and honey later.
Ew. No. Yuck.
Rip.
That would definitely ruin our lovely supper coming.
Oh, yeah.
It'll ruin everything.
Blah.
Yeah. All
That's
the
too bad.
Blah.
When is it coming? Is it close?
It's like 5 minutes away.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be a hard cut in 5 minutes, everybody. Get ready.
Hard cut for some East Indian food.
Yes.
Yum.
Give me that You know what you can't get on an island? Lamb vindaloo.
Or paneer.
Or naan bread. Or rice.
That's sad.
Isn't that sad?
There's seagulls.
Yeah. And salted cod.
And salted cod and some lobster.
Tell me you like my lobster. Tell me.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I love this movie. I'm excited to talk about it.
Okay. Should we start in the plot or should we do the stop first and then...
Ooh, good call. Okay, we're going to do our quick stop now.
Okay,
You're not even going to notice because
nope.
we're just going to stop and go back.
Food cut. We'll be right back.
Food cut. Ow, ow.
Ow.
Okay, we're back after that completely natural cut.
Yes, total cuts.
Totally smooth transition.
We have food now.
Num,
We're
num,
happy.
num, num.
Finish this podcast and do some eating.
Woo.
All right, so into the plot?
Yes.
Into the plot. Okay.
I'm ready.
In the 1890s, New England, Ephraim?
Yep.
Okay. Ephraim Winslow serves a contract job as a wiki, lighthouse keeper.
Yes.
For a month on a small isolated island off of the coast. Under the supervision of the island's longtime keeper, Thomas Wake.
Yes.
In his quarters, Winslow discovers a small scrimshaw of a mermaid and keeps it in his jacket.
And he like digs it out of the mattress. Like when he goes to like...
He sits down or lays down, he feels like something, he kind of digs it. What is that? And it's a mermaid.
Yeah. And it's just like a little wooden figure. It's weird.
Yep, weird.
Yeah.
Wake immediately proves to be very demanding, assigning Winslow increasingly taxing jobs, such as emptying chamber pots, painting
There's one scene where he like tries to throw it off the cliff, and the wind flies it back into his face, and he just gets a mouthful of pee-pee poo-poo.
Gross. Painting the lighthouse and carrying heavy kerosene containers up the stairs.
Yes.
While forbidding him access to the lantern room. Because that's Wake's light.
Yes, that's his light.
Don't you go? That's his light. Don't you touch his light. That's my light. He is very
no touchy.
He's very strict about him having the light.
Yes.
He even locks it.
And there's like, he doesn't ever give an explanation. He just
Nope.
says, because it's mine.
Yeah.
Which is like the number one thing you don't say to like a child. You know?
Yeah. And also, he's older. He's probably 50s, 60s. Whereas Ephraim is 20s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what was I? Winslow observes that every evening, Wake secretly ascends the lighthouse and disrobes before the light. And jerks off, too.
Yay!
During his stay on the island, Winslow begins to hallucinate sea monsters and logs floating in the sea, and masturbates to the mermaid on the scrimshaw.
Woo!
He also continues to observe Wake's strange ritual and is bothered by a one-eyed gull that Wake tells him not to kill,
Yes.
as he believes that gulls are reincarnated sailors.
Yes. That's the
And-
thing is that he's struggling with the seagull. Like, there's a seagull that likes to like squawk at him and attack him as he's walking. Harass him. And he's like, fuck that seagull, and starts throwing pieces of coal at it.
Yeah.
And Wake sees this and he's like, don't you hurt that gull.
Yeah.
Because apparently they're reincarnated sailors.
He's very superstitious.
Yes,
Wake
absolutely.
is very superstitious.
Yeah.
You have to, before every meal, he does a prayer almost and a shot. And they have to,
But that's like everything back in the day, Like
It
I was
was.
watching a horror movie and the girl that went on a ship was red haired and they're like, we can't have a girl with red hair on the ship.
Yeah,
I was like, oh.
Yes, like even like Pirates of the Caribbean with at the beginning where I forget his name now, tells it's bad luck to have women on board
Exactly.
a ship. It's bad
That's
luck
what I
this,
was gonna say too,
Bad luck
yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah, so it was
Almost a
just
lot.
like, it's all about superstitions. It seems to be a lot around water.
Yes, I don't know why.
No.
I've never been a big boater or anything like that. So I wouldn't know.
Yeah, that.
One evening, while dining, Wake reveals to Winslow that his previous wiki died after losing his sanity.
Yes.
While Winslow reveals that he is a former timberman from Maine.
Very The
seeking new
Shining,
trade.
hey?
Bullshit. He's not from Maine. He is from Canada.
Yep, he is from Canada.
He says, you're up north, you're in Canada. I was like, yeah, I'm from Nova Scotia,
Yep.
Ontario area.
But
He's
it's-
not from Maine. Fuck you, Wikipedia.
But it's very The Shining, know?
Yes. You know what?
And
Yes, it is.
that's what I thought, because like I just watched The Shining and they're like, oh, the previous man and his, he killed his wife and family. And Jack Nicholson's like, oh, that won't happen to me, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, oh, that's crazy. I don't know how somebody could do that. This is very that. He's like, oh, how do you go crazy? Like, we're just here. It's only a couple weeks, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But
Sure. Contribute to Shining.
yes.
Yep. I got
Right?
that. Yep. I
Yeah.
was going to actually mention that. I forgot. You reminded me. Thank you.
Very psychological.
This is
slow,
super
psychological.
Yes.
Cabin fever, which is literally The Shining, is the definition of cabin fever.
Yes. Yep.
And yeah, well, maybe that's why I love The Shining too.
I think so.
Damn it, Alana.
The day before his scheduled departure, Winslow discovers a dead gull inside the cistern, bloodying its water. Winslow is attacked by the one-eyed gull, and he brutally kills it in a fit of rage.
So good. This is probably one of the best parts of the movie.
I agree. It's funny.
He literally just grabs it by the neck and just starts brutally beating
Beats
it.
the fuck out of it against anything and everything he can
And
hit.
there's just blood squishing everywhere, and it's
Blood
like,
feathers.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
No,
It's crazy. Oh.
He freaks out.
Right?
Yeah.
Which, like, it's just like all that pent up anger he feels against Wake and all these horrible chores he's doing,
Yeah.
getting poo poo pee pee in his face. Like, everything's just like.
And just being demeaned.
It's literally the straw that broke the camel's back.
It's hard. He tries to at least give some have Wake give him some respect. He calls him boy, dog.
Exactly.
He doesn't tell him by his name. He eventually does.
Yep.
But it's just.
But even then, he's very, like, how he talks to him is very condescending.
Very
like, oh, you don't even know, like.
Because there's this, I think this happens before the gull scene.
Yep.
He does the floor. He cleans the floor. And Wake's like, you didn't do it. He's like, yes, I did. He's like, nope, do it again.
Yep.
And do it again proper.
Yep.
And he's like, well, no, because I did. Like, nope, you do it or else I'm going to not pay you.
Ugh.
And he's like, fine. And he does it. But it's rough.
Yes. And all of us have been in that position where it's like somebody's telling you to do something really shitty and you just want to beat a seagull to death.
Yep.
You know? You just like slam it over a cistern a few times.
That's right.
Oh well.
The wind drastically changes direction and a violent storm hits the island. And that's funny because it's very, you get the, I'm forgetting what the word's called, like not a wind dial, but like, it shows where the direction the wind's going.
Oh, like a weather vane?
Thank you, weather vane. And it goes like from the west to north. I'm like, oh, here comes Mary Poppins. Coming to kill the men.
I forgot about that. Oh,
because it's very similar to that scene.
It is,
it's
yes.
100% like, oh, here comes Mary Poppins.
Ooh, where's the umbrella?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
The direction of violent storm hits the island. Winslow and Wake spend the night getting drunk.
Yes.
Do they? And the storm ranges through the next morning, preventing the relief ferry meant to pick up Winslow from arriving.
Mm-hmm.
As Winslow empties the chamber pots, he notices a body wash up on the shore and discover it is a mermaid.
Yes.
Which awakens and howls at him. He flees back to the cottage where Wake informs him that the storm has spoiled their rations.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Yeah.
And that new ones will not arrive for weeks.
Mm-hmm.
They pair unearth a crate at the Lighthouse's base that supposedly contains reserve rations, but contains only bottles of gin.
Yep. Just alcohol.
Just alky.
Which, like...
I can understand that.
Fair.
Yep. In the following days, as the storm continues to rage, Winslow and Wake drink most of the gin, alternating between moments of intimacy and hostility.
Yes.
They are arguing and going to fight each other and slapping to dancing.
Yeah.
It's
very much like an abusive relationship, I think,
yes.
right?
Yes.
And it's like mutually abusive.
Yeah.
Where they're yelling at each other, like really verbally abusing each other, and then crying and laughing and sharing these literal intimate moments.
And was it Spill Your Beans? Wake tell because Ephraim, he kind of he spills his beans. He tells you he's not really Ephraim. He took the name from someone. Yeah. He blaps his story to Wake, and Wake's like, you shouldn't have told me that. Yeah. Should not have told me that. And also when he goes up to see what Wake is doing up in the lighthouse, he sees weird stuff. He sees tentacles. Yeah. There's some cum that kind of drips down onto him a little bit.
Turns into a hentai for a minute, the usual.
It gets weird.
Yes. But this is because they're slipping. Their
100%.
Minds are slipping.
Oh, definitely.
And this is what I loved about this movie is what is real. Yeah. What is real? You have no idea. Like, there's obvious ones that aren't real, like the tentacles. But
maybe
was the seagull real?
Was the mermaid real?
Was the mermaid real?
Yeah.
Was any of the arguments real?
Was the storm real?
Exactly.
Who knows?
Exactly. Maybe it was an internal storm.
Oh, maybe he just did like to drink and had the storm in the tummy.
But there's a part where when they find out the rations are ruined, where Ephraim is like, oh, well, I've just been sleeping for a day. And he's like, you've been asleep for a week. And he's like, or it's been a week since they were supposed to come.
Oh, I missed that part.
Yeah. He's like, oh, well, we might have just missed them. And he's like, that was a week ago. We've been waiting here for an extra week. Ugh. And Ephraim's like, what? No, we haven't. And he's like, look at our rations. We have nothing left. Yeah. And he's like, oh, fuck.
Oh, shit.
Which, like, you go on a week bender, it happens.
Yeah. One night, Winslow tries unsuccessfully to steal the lantern room keys from Wake as he sleeps and contemplates stabbing him. Yes. He later encounters a lobster trap containing the one-eyed head of Wake's previous wiki. Mm-hmm. Winslow confesses to Wake that his real name is Thomas Howard. Yeah. And that he assumed the identity of the real Ephraim Winslow, his foreman, who died in an accident Howard purposely neglected to stop. Yes. Wake chases Howard down, accusing him of spilling his beans, and destroys their only dory with an axe.
Yes. But then, in the next scene, it shows Ephraim with the axe. Yeah. So this is the thing, is like, what happened?
Yeah.
Like, whose point of view are we watching?
And once incapacitated, however, Wake claims it was Howard who chased him and destroyed the dory.
Right.
So it's fucked.
Right?
This is what's going on here.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. With no alcohol left, the two begin drinking a concoction of turpentine and honey.
Woo!
I think it's gas, whatever.
Yeah.
While the storm worsens and starts flooding the cottage. The next morning, Howard finds Wake's soiled logbook, in which Wake has criticized him as drunk and incompetent and recommended that he should be sacked without pay.
Yeah.
The two men argue, and Howard attacks Wake while he's hallucinating the mermaid,
Yes.
the real Winslow, and Wake as a Proteus-like figure. Howard beats Wake into submission and takes him to the hole at the base of the lighthouse to bury him alive.
Did we just like skip over the whole part where he fucked the mermaid?
Oh, yes. That was hardly skipped.
Mermaid vagina is all I have to say. Google
Yes.
it. It is worth it. They based it off a shark vagina. It is weird, and
It's, yes.
this is when he starts like with the drinking and descending into madness, sort of, is he imagines that he sees the mermaid, and like this is after she screams at him, and he's like, all right, let's get into it.
Yeah, like there's like seaweed on her. He pulls the seaweed off. It pans down to her chest, which is bare, and then it goes a little farther down. And oh, hey, she has something he can put his penis in. And he does. And
Can
he
I
does.
Can I eat it?
Can it fuck me?
I love Adam Sandler.
All I'm asking is, am I getting a rim job? It's a toaster. Oh, I can fuck it. In fact, two people can fuck it. Do you want to fuck my toaster with me? Yes, I certainly do.
Oh my god. We need to watch that after. Oh my god.
Oh, it's so good.
So good.
So good. I'm sorry. So funny. Okay, so he goes to bury him alive. Wake curses Howard as he is buried, wishing him a Promethean fate.
Yes.
Thing is, he cursed him before when he
did. They both had monologues cursing each other.
Yes. It was mostly when I think it was when Wake didn't like, when Ephraim didn't like the lobster, didn't like Wake's cooking.
Yes.
And he finally, and this is a huge 2-minute spiel where William Dafoe does not blink.
Nope.
And this shows how fucking good of an actor he is. Nope, he gives him the biggest curse ever and doesn't blink.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, yeah, fuck you too. You suck. Hope you die.
It's good.
And by when he beats him in submission, like he treats him like a dog. His neck's tied up.
He literally says, bark, bark for me.
Yes. He's like, roof, roof, very good. And he drags him outside, get in the hole.
Literally ties a rope around his neck, makes him walk like a dog to his own grave.
Yeah. And buries him.
And buries him alive.
And then he's like, oh wait, and he digs him up a bit, gets the keys.
Yeah, and you're like, oh my god, he feels bad. He's digging him up, just grabs the keys and yeets out of there.
It's such a rough scene to watch because as he's being buried, Defoe, Wake's carrying, he's talking and
he's having a monologue. Yeah.
And as he's talking, he's getting dirt in his mouth and it's yucky. I'm like, watching him, like, I want to spit the dirt out.
So badly. Yes.
It's bad.
The acting in this show is just
acting is top notch,
top tier,
100%.
The god level. I love these two actors so much.
Yeah. Howard takes the keys to the lantern room, but Wake frees himself and strikes Howard with the axe. Like he hits him, like he stabs him with the axe in the shoulder.
Yep.
Howard disarms Wake and kills him.
Mm-hmm.
This is a big word. Ostensibly, remorselessly.
Mm-hmm.
Without remorse. Could you say without remorse?
Yeah.
Fucking people.
Absolutely.
Before ascending the lighthouse. In the lantern room, the Fresnel lens opens to Howard, who reaches in and violently screams in distortion before slipping and falling down the lighthouse steps.
Mm-hmm.
Sometime later, a barely living Howard lies naked on the rocks with a damaged eye.
Yes.
As a flock of gulls peck at his exposed bowels.
Mm-hmm.
The end.
So good. Oh.
Also, one I think it's like a dream he has.
Yes.
Wake, he goes up there, and Wake sees him, and he's totally naked.
Yep.
And just stares at him. His eyes become the light.
Yes. Yep.
Which is very Ghostbusters 2. Mm-hmm. With Vigo. Vigo. This is Vigo. And
But
that's
it's
the Lighthouse.
so crazy.
Crazy, yes.
Yes.
It kind of becomes more jumbled as the movie progresses.
Absolutely. But it wants... I think that they intentionally wanted it to be jarring.
Yes.
They wanted you to be
I like
on
gritty.
that... Yes.
Gritty. It's very gritty.
I think they wanted you to be on that journey with them of madness.
And what's going on?
And even when you think about it, like the noise of the lighthouse, like, wah, wah, and it's the whole movie, and you're like, God damn, that is so annoying.
It is.
And they comment on it more than once. That is so annoying. But they want you to share in that discomfort.
The descent.
And that annoyance. And that, like, I can understand why they're doing this, you know? Yep. And it's like who wouldn't be pushed to the brink of madness with the noise, the smell, the food, the, annoying coworker.
The drinking.
And that,
like,
everything.
Being forced to drink.
Exactly.
Because he doesn't drink, and then he does because he's kind of forced to.
What else do you do? Yeah.
And like the labor, the work he does, and being criticized for everything he does by...
you would pick up a vice for sure.
You would pick up an axe and
Yes.
kill him.
And that's the thing is, like, do they want you to feel sympathy? Do they want you to know maybe where it's coming from? Like, it makes sense. Like, yes, it's annoying. Even listening to Wake talk to Ephraim is like, everybody has had that coworker or had that boss that talks down to you when you're just doing your best, and they do FA.
And it's funny because I just kind of realized how, you might agree with me here, a lot of this movie is taken from Ephraim's point of view. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So when he reads in the log that he's a bad employee, he's drunk all the time, do shit work. Yep. When he says, no, that's bullshit, I work hard, we kind of can't say no because we see him from his point of view, him working. Yeah. But if we saw it from Wake's point of view, maybe he was a lazy worker. Maybe he did do a shit job.
Because when he says that they've been waiting an extra week for their relief, he's like, you have literally done nothing. There's nothing that you've done. So it's like, probably at that point he was like, fuck this guy. He doesn't deserve to get a wage. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know.
It's a weird movie.
Bizarre.
It really is.
Yeah. And like, is it a horror movie? And it's got horror elements, I think. More thriller.
Thriller, suspense.
Very psychological. Like, literally, it's just, there's not going to be any jump scares. No. There's not going to be much gore. There's, like, a little bit of, like, I don't know, the head.
The head and the
angry
end.
Seagull. The very end.
The end part. But it's nothing, the black and white helps. It kind of tones it down.
Exactly.
Like it's more of a mental fuck.
Exactly, yeah.
A mental fuck you, mind fuck. Yeah. If anything. Again, would it called a horror? No. Would it called a suspense movie? Yes. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Definitely suspenseful. Yeah. Just because you don't know what's going to happen next.
Totally.
The interaction between the characters are ridiculous. Yes. But again, I can't fault the acting.
Totally.
At all.
Right?
I can't fault the music.
Who knew that you could listen... Who knew that you could listen to a monologue about somebody bitching about somebody else's farts and be like, I feel that to my core, and not just tee-hee-hee farts. Yeah. It's like, oh my God. Because it's like a point whenever they're sitting together, Wake is constantly farting.
Yes. And also, when it first was on, the feel, the look. Yes. It was very 1930s, 1940s, black and white era movies.
Exactly.
And I thought, okay, that's good. Yep. That is to make me feel and think this is an old style movie just because the way they talk, the way the words were written.
And it feels cold. Like just with the absence of color, it's cold and stark. And I don't know. Again, was it the best movie I've ever seen? No. Is it very artistic?
Yes.
Yes. Very artistic. Yes. Yeah. And I appreciate that. Okay. Well, what would you rate it?
I'll give it 2 ratings.
Oh,
I'll
my
give
God.
it 2
okay.
just because
my God.
So for a horror movie, what it was, 2 out of 5.
Fair.
It wasn't scary. It had a bit of violence and gore near the end. slower than a snail's fart. But yeah, it for the content and plot.
Yep.
To ref.
Sure.
He was not my cup of tea. But for the artistic view, for the acting, for the everything production wise.
Yep.
4.
See, and your 2 and 4 would make a 3.
Yeah.
I would give it a 3.
Bingo. Exactly.
That's exactly where I'm at too. Yeah. It's like I've watched it. This is my 3rd time seeing it. I'll probably watch it again. But I appreciate it.
Yep.
And I think that's what a movie should be. You know, entertaining. Was I entertained because I was scared? No. Was I entertained because the plot was enthralling? No. But I could sit and watch those fucking assholes argue.
Bark at each other. Yes.
All day.
I agree.
And I think that's where lots of my rating goes is, like you said, the acting, the lighting, the sounds, the feel.
Yep.
That like gritty, visceral feel of like, ugh, gross.
Yep.
Yeah. And I appreciate that.
Yeah. And I understand the madness,
of
the setting of madness.
Yes.
I like that. I have nothing wrong with that. I like that view. I like that look.
Very The Shining.
I just wish there was something a little more up to it. Because I remember reading it was about like some ghost. Like it was like, I'm like, there's no ghost in this at all.
No.
The
the seagull. But even then, it's like you have to dig so deep. If you just look at it topically,
and
fine.
It's a very deep movie.
Yes.
For those who don't like the deep movies, they would find this a hard watch.
Yeah, hard watch,
For those
boring.
who love the deep movies with
think
the
piece, yeah,
hard plot. It's a hard plot.
It is, yeah.
With the deep conversations, a lot of
just talking.
Yep. Yep. It's great.
Yeah. Agreed. 100%.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
It could have been, I think, if they wanted to go more with the horror aspect, they would have had something more supernatural with the light.
Totally.
Give a bit of a payoff with that.
Yeah.
Make it actually, like, more than just an obsession from Wake.
Yes.
Have him actually be affected by the light. Have him, which he is kind of.
Yeah. But more scenes of him with, like, the light up eyes or something. Something like that.
Have something happen to him.
Or, like when he screams, have it be like the wah, that kind of stuff. Something like that.
When Wake, like, actually have an arm become a tentacle.
Yes.
Like, have something happen for the more horror theme. Have the mermaid, have her throw some teeth in that vag. I don't know.
That movie is called Teeth.
Yeah, I know that movie very well.
Me too. We should add that movie. I don't think it's on our list.
I thought we did.
Did we?
We'll add it.
We'll check after.
What about the kill of the flick?
Oh, what did we say?
I think we went with the ending.
I think we went with Ephraim / Tom. Yeah, because with Wake is just a quick off-camera
splurt.
Chop.
Yeah, he gets knocked down, and he takes the axe and brings it onto the head.
Yeah.
And that's it kind of sticks there.
And fair, you know. And they probably did it off camera so that they could avoid a higher rating.
Yeah.
Which is fair.
Oh, yeah.
But, not a lot of killing in this movie for being a horror movie. Lots of death, but not much shown.
And also, it's from when he kills Wade, goes up to the top.
Yep.
The blood on his face changes.
Yes.
It goes from a little bit of blood to his face is covered
all
with
of the
blood,
yes.
grime, mud. And
but this is the thing is like, did it happen like that? Or did it, he
true.
thought, I didn't do it that bad. But we, the audience, once he's past that, it's like, he fucked him up.
Yeah.
Like he did something bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So cool.
It's great. There's little things you got to kind of pay attention to this movie. And I was reading the trivia so I missed a couple things.
But
but the rancher is going bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, it didn't. As good as the dialogue was, it didn't keep me fully locked in. Yeah. Which was tough. It's a tough movie to get through.
It is.
For those who have the interest or the attention deficit. You might be like, okay, I mean, what's on Facebook?
It's me.
Yeah. But again, it's not the worst movie out there. It's
totally worth a watch.
Plot-wise, not the best. Horror movie-wise, it's a tough sell.
Yeah. Even if you just watch the first half is the best, I think.
Yeah.
If that's how far you make it, that's how far you make it.
Yep.
It's worth the first half at least.
Drink as far as the mermaid.
Yeah.
They can say, I saw a mermaid vag.
Yes, I agree. That was like my favorite. As soon as somebody's like, oh, I think I might watch The Lighthouse, I'm like, did you know there's a mermaid vagina?
I did not.
That's like my selling point.
And I did not. And then I saw what they did. I'm like, oh.
Oh.
That's a mermaid badge. Okay. All right.
Yay.
Okay.
And that was The Lighthouse. Da, da. Da, da. And next week, we're watching another one of my picks. It's Us. We're watching Us.
I've heard good things.
You haven't seen it?
I haven't seen Us.
Nicholas.
What?
We're going to have to turn these mics off.
No.
I'm going to have to throw you out my front window.
No. Okay.
Okay.
But I'm going with my East Indian food.
This movie is so good. And I don't want to hype it up
I've
too
heard
much.
good things. I heard it's got a crazy mindfuck ending. And I'm like, ooh, I like those.
And I was not ready for the ending. I was like, okay, this movie is all right. And then the ending happened. And I was like, I need an adult. I need an adult. But it is, I will watch anything Jordan Peele makes forever. Forever.
That's fair.
It is so good. There's just enough jump scares, crazy like things happening, chase scenes, gore.
It has a very The Strangers feel to it.
Yes. Yep.
That
yes,
is,
that's exactly what it is. That's
seen
exactly what it is.
Because I haven't seen it, but I've watched the trailers. I know about this movie.
Yes.
I'm like, ooh, okay.
And there's a lot of death. Like a lot. Like we're gonna have our pick of the litter for Kill the
good.
Flick.
I haven't had those for a while.
It's so good. I'm so excited for us to watch.
Oh, okay, then let's cut them. Let's wrap it up and let's go watch it.
Yeah. Oh shit. That's my job. That's my job. Thank you so much for joining us and listening to us talk about mermaid vaginas for an hour. This episode was brought to you by our executive producer Ichabod and our head of talent relations Anarchy. We hope you enjoyed your Horr-Gasm as much as we did. Please don't forget to rate, download, and subscribe. Also, like and follow us on Facebook at Horr-Gasm Podcast, Instagram at Horr-Gasm, Twitter at Gasm Horror, YouTube at the Horr-Gasm Podcast, and like we said at the beginning, Twitch at Horr-Gasm Games. If you have a movie you'd like us to recommend, this is the best way to let us know. We hope to see you again next week because we have such sights to show you. Plenty of Horr-Gasms for you to experience. Bye!
Later.